Good morning, beautiful. I hope that you are well rested and ready to begin your Friday or wherever you're catching this in times. The Daily Insight for Life and Love for April 9th, 2021. Also timeless, so might be relevant at any point, but if it isn't, don't force it. Let it fall away. If you have questions about booking a private session or any of the services I provide, email address is in the description. You can DM me off of any social platform, so definitely say hello. Let me know where you are in the world. And we're kicking this off with Rider Waite. It looks like some old issues are coming up to haunt you. And it feels like this is something that you have to talk about. This seems like something that has sabotaged a lot of connections in your life, whether or not they're romantic is up in the air. But it feels like one of your guardians was either really detached or absent completely. This can be mom, dad, whoever your caregiver was. Not everybody has the same upbringing, and you have to understand that whoever you consider to be an important guardian had a strong absence or complete detachment from your life. And this is feeding off of your insecurities. This is something that you can overcome. This is something that you can release, but it's not going to go away if you pretend that it isn't there. Look, the strength. It does feel incredibly exhausting, and it feels unstable. And I do feel like this is something that you can, once you vocalize it, detach yourself from. I really see that you are getting into a more compassionate state with yourself, and that you do have the ability to actually have success in overcoming this and have it not be part of your narrative moving forward. But it's going to take time to get there. It's coming up either real recent, it's happening now, or it's about to happen. But whatever the case is, I don't want you to feel like you have to run from it. This is a lot of emotional hot and cold with you. It's a huge guessing game of where your place is in somebody's life. And I want you to understand that, first off, that was cruel to bestow upon you. You didn't deserve it. And it wasn't the person being in the right mind. This wasn't some well-balanced person looking at you like you're discardable. This person had a lot of issues, which it doesn't make it excusable, but it's a reason as to why they behaved the way that they did. They taught you what love wasn't. This is something that, again, has plagued some really important connections in your life. But it stops now. You're healing yourself. You're reparenting yourself. You're letting these emotions run wild. I don't think that you're going to be suppressing them. And I do feel like this is divinely guided. I feel like you are ready to focus on this. I do see that you will be communicating this with somebody who's coming in. This might be somebody who you see as authoritative, somebody who's higher up, even though that's kind of useless because I'm all about equality. So I can't really go with that. I have to remain on my... Okay. This also might be somebody who you can find in who has a massive age difference and who is either a guardian, whatever this person is. There's a massive difference in the two of you, but also in this person and what you've experienced. And I think that this might be a partial trigger as to why this is all coming up. Isn't it crazy how it just comes out of nowhere? I do feel like you are leaving behind an old, I'm going to make a comparison, an old city of you, and going in towards a completely different path. I do feel like you are at a fork in the road, and it reminds me of the Robert Frost poem, The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. That poem is funny because he wrote it not meaning for it to mean what it did. When he wrote the poem, he was kind of doing it in a snarky way. He did it as, I think, a challenge of a friend, and everybody takes it as, this is me taking a new chance, paving a new path, and doing something really important in life. And Robert Frost had talked about it, meaning that no matter what you choose, it doesn't matter, just as long as you choose, that is your path. That's really funny to me. It's like blood is thicker than water, and it extends to the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. But in actuality, all of it has very little attachment to personal relationships. And I forget what the actual meaning of it is, but it has nothing to do with personal relationships. But it only goes to show the importance of what you say only really is important if you truly believe what you're assigning it to. So to go back, why are you assigning an old meaning that held you for so long in your life to where you are now? It wasn't healthy then, and you know that it's not healthy now. So why are you doing it? All right, Spirit. I'm going to go to the mini read of this. It's time to surrender. This is a pull before you shed this skin. I really do feel like this is the snake in the tree of knowledge, and you are ready to shed that skin because you have grown with even more knowledge, whether it's self-awareness, perseverance, it could be all of it. And I think that whoever you are talking to in your life is actually pushing for this in you. The stressful part of this is when you surrender to this, you actually have to start making these really difficult choices for yourself, and that is stressful. We have the moon in here, so we are definitely talking about a personal shift in either mindset or situation, but it's necessary. Is the moon filling out? Is it just starting to fill out, or is it closing off? So you have to decide if something is going to be coming into your life, or if you are going to be completely rejecting it. It's a major important time for emotional healing, and I do feel like your throat chakra is going to be opening up. But regardless, there is something that needs to be shed. I went live on TikTok today. I did a hypnosis session. 106 people showed up. That was a lot of fun. I used an old script I haven't used in a while, and I just stumbled across it. It was really good. Then I signed off for like 5 minutes, and then I came back on and did mini reads, which I will do again. I love going live. I have to go live on here some point very soon. I used to go live every single day. Can you believe that? By the way, as you're listening to this, how's your morning or day going so far? What have you been up to? Wow. God, I know how this is going to sound. It's not lost on me. Your innocence was massively controlled and exploited. I do feel like this is something that you were trained to surrender, and it took you a lot to just maintain and get through this. I see the anxiety around the situation, and I do see that even though it feels like you were alone, and that loneliness and isolation may have been a part of this at a time, I do feel like you were divinely protected. So no matter what, no matter how bad it got, Spirit is saying that you are here for a very strong purpose, and you went through and survived what you did for a really strong purpose. And there's a connection, but also independence that is happening through Spirit. So what I'm seeing here is taking down your defenses. This is going to be a really raw time for you. But I think that, again, this is all necessary. We have the 5 of Pentacles, and we also have the 5 of Wands. You can really start to speak your voice, speak your truth in this, and go to battle. And it's not about you losing. It doesn't matter what you lose in this. what you gain is your strength. You gain a sense of self. You gain your even stronger backbone. And you know what? I think that it's really healthy that you get angry in this. It's going to have a lot of movement, and it's something that is going to be long-standing. There's a lot of slow-moving energy in this. I'm completely all about it. It feels like this is going to be months of processing for you. And it's a lot of mental work too. Even more wands coming up, baby. It is going to be one thing after another. I want you to take this as step by step. And it is going to be breaking a lot of hidden dependency behaviors. I don't know if it's codependency or if it's just strictly dependent on something. Always looking for something to fill the void. Always looking for something to hold in front of you. Spirit is trying to give you something that is going to heal your heart in this, and you're not ready to look at it. This is probably going to go through the sign of Libra, and it is about karma balance and also personal balance and justice and effect. And it has a lot of Aries. So anyways, we have a lot of sword energy around this, which can go with fire, and that's Aries. And we have the King of Swords in reverse. Don't worry about the upsets that will inevitably happen in this situation. It's absolutely necessary and normal for you to go through, and it is all part of the healing process. Isn't that crazy? When you are healing, when you are getting sober, when you are doing any sort of change in your life that is major, it is absolutely normal and sometimes even necessary for backtracking, or what seems to be backtracking, or sometimes even relapse. Not that that's necessary, but it is often a progressive part of it, if that makes sense. I do see a lot of new starts of personal work. I do see that this is going to be a lot of hard work. We have the Eight of Pentacles, which is you really working on your personal craft in this, and I think that this is the heart. I also feel like it's the mind, but I also feel like you are completely passionately throwing yourself into it and making this your main focus. So this is what we are looking at right now. All right, so what's the advice as they go through this, Spirit? This is a massive time of action, by the way. Am I going to read that? I'll read that after. What's the advice, Spirit? Yeah. More moons. The advice is don't put off the change, don't put off the actions, don't put off the choices. It's going to be something that you have to be very clear. Are you going to feed your instant gratification, your needs, your worries, your addictions, or are you going to feed the healing, the emotional, the waterworks even? I do feel like you have to make a choice, and it's going to be a battle for you to distinguish what is healing and what is instant gratification, and which one that you are going to feed. It looks like it's going to be a constant reminder not to fall back into old patterns and habits because it's been so systematic for so long. I do see that you'll be getting a lot of downloads. I do see that you will be getting a lot of absolute chaotic changes, and this is all meant to empower you and put you back on your throne. We have pomegranates in here. This fruit that's growing. It's kind of an exotic fruit. And it's the queen sitting on her throne, the high priestess. She's sitting through her change and watching it evolve her. She's bearing witness to her own personal evolution, seeing it and experiencing it through time. So what aren't you going to feed anymore? Are you going to feed your growth, or are you going to feed your pain? You can't feed them both. The discomfort can't be confused with pain, the discomfort of inevitable growth. It's really important that you do that, because when you stay back in old experiences and you go back to old patterns and habits and you try and neglect the growth that you know that you need to do for yourself, you become very compressed and it's very combustible. And this will eventually lead to some sort of outburst, which is not necessarily necessary for you or this path. It's a point of avoidance here. All right. So this is what we are looking at so far. I'm going to get some more advice. We have the Ten of Swords making an appearance. I'm going to let that get shuffled back in, and if it comes out, so be it. It's not a bad card. It speaks about endings, which very clearly you are experiencing that in your life, and that is okay. Oh, wow. The advice is let this come in. We have more balance. We're looking at the Justice card as a person. This is somebody who triggers you to the point of tower moments, but is only doing it because they are a balance to you and they are in line with you, and that this can only be mirrored if you scatter the trauma out. Not towards anyone, but, you know, to dissolve. This is a massive sense of relief. Allow somebody to be there for you. Allow somebody to show that they care. Allow somebody to show that you are worth the support in this. That is a huge sense of vulnerability, I think, is overwhelming for you. But I also see that this is going to be what ultimately gets you out of that depressive mode. And it does feel depressive with that. So let's see, more advice. We have the Moon card. I see a psychic connection. And this is a commitment that is coming in. And I also feel like it is geared towards this person. It doesn't have to be romantic. But I do think that this is an equally yoked support. And I do see that this is an absolute divine connection. And I do feel like this is something where it's almost not even necessarily a choice, but an understanding between the connection. I see you and you see me. Come, you know, anything or high water, I will be the support for you. And I don't feel like it's abusive. I don't feel like it's dangerous. If it did feel that way, or if it happens to ever become that way, no matter what happens, step away from it. But I feel like the choice has been made and the commitment has been made, and you don't have to worry about seeds and intentions scattered absolutely everywhere that won't take root. I do feel like this is something that is coming in and sweeping you off your feet, and I do feel like this is something that is going to take you by storm. Pay attention to messages. Pay attention to messages Spirit wants to give you too. And I really want you to establish a form of independence in whatever this new stage is, and also what any connection is. Communication is going to be at an all-time high. It's going to be something that is very fast-moving, something that is going to feel overwhelming. This is going to be something that is very long-standing in your life. So step back and see the big picture on this one when it becomes too overwhelming, and take it one step at a time. This, I see that you want to hold back. Let's see. The other side to this doesn't fully understand that it can pump the brakes. This is a very fast-moving new start. I do feel like a new start is underway for you. I also think that this is a real big gift. There is so much change that is happening, and it feels like it's all at once, but really with all this wand energy, it is through span of a good amount of time. It feels like months, if not almost a year, where this is going to be continual. It's such healing energy, and it's dissolving so much thick emotion, and also a lot of nervousness and anxiousness, a lot of solar plexus. No, not solar plexus. Is it the solar plexus? Let me see. You know, I've been a Reiki master for years, well over a decade, And I still have problems with this. It is the solar plexus. God, this is your fault. So if you follow all of this guidance, what is the likely outcome of this situation? Just so you know, I'm not looking at nothing. What is the likely outcome of this when you do the work? I'm going to read the final card after. Come on, Spirit, out with it. Emotional release, and we have the 10. Actually, let me see. A lot of releasing. You are releasing so much unhealthy emotional baggage and a lot of disloyal connections and a lot of unhealthy situations. That is actually going to put your world in order. Sometimes when you have a sense of loss, or sometimes when you lose, you actually win. That's going to be happening now. I don't feel like this is isolated to one particular person. I do feel like this is going to be a lot of unhealthy connections, situations in your life that will ultimately dissolve because it's not emotionally healthy for you. And I do see new charging energy come in that has a lot of passion and that has a very old feeling connection to it. We have the pyramids in the back, so I think that this is something that goes beyond time and also something that really gets your energy back. So whatever you lose is going to be replaced with something much better. Know that. And I'm going to read this final card. Don't forget to check the timestamps. All right, going the extra mile to achieve your dreams and putting in overtime will reap big rewards. Now's the time for you to act, stir up energy, and put those plans into action. There are many windows of opportunity that open but close quickly when you don't take the risk and go for it. Today, be confident that your hard work will pay off and that you'll feel that satisfaction and fulfillment of reaching your desired outcome. It might turn out even better than you expect. Isn't that amazing? Remember, how much ever work you are willing to put in, we will match it tenfold on our end. Everyone over here is rooting for you to win the game of life, so just do it. Loving you so, so much. Love, Spirit. You know that this doesn't end at midnight. This is a projection of your future based off of current situation, circumstance, and if you follow this guidance, your individual storyline will always be more detailed, in depth, and intense. So if you have questions about booking a session, check the email address. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Go rock it and make it yours. Stay safe, have fun. Bye. All right, you know the deal. Think of a loved one who's crossed over. If you can't think of anybody, it's fine. It's going to be from your main guide. Just listen with an open heart and an open mind. Okay. So going the extra mile to achieve your dreams and putting in overtime will reap big rewards. Now's the time for you to act and stir up energy and to put those plans into action. There are many windows of opportunity that open but close quickly when you don't take the risk and go for it. Today, be confident that your hard work will pay off and that you'll feel that satisfaction and fulfillment of reaching your desired outcome. It might turn out even better than you expected. Isn't that amazing? Remember, however much work you're willing to put in, we will match it tenfold on our end. Everyone over here is rooting for you to win the game of life, so just do it. Loving you so much. Love, Spirit. That is a good message. Go and take that risk. It's worth it. As long as it's not illegal and it's not dangerous to your well-being, like your physical well-being. Don't die for this, okay? But take the risk otherwise. Hope that made sense. Stay safe, have fun. They can't help if they don't know what's going on. You've really got to give in and communicate exactly what you have been compressing. You can't hang on to it. And this is actually really scary because it's going to involve you making a lot of personal choices for yourself. Which direction are you going to go? You are going through a personal change. That's stressful. It is part of an old identity. It's an insecure identity. It's an angry identity. It's insecure over anger and how to suppress that. Isn't that crazy how it all kind of loops around with that one? But look, this isn't who you are anymore. Whenever you feel that need to lash out, you know that this doesn't feel like you anymore. You know that you're not there. So now it's a point of calling it out and releasing it. I can't wait to see what's on the other side of this, because this is nonsense that doesn't belong in your life. I hope that it made sense, though. Stay safe and have fun. You kind of deserve to be a little bit arrogant in this situation. I feel like you stepped away for a while. I feel like you let this go. Got your wits about you. Now you're readdressing it with fresh eyes, and you have the power and control over the situation. I think you have a new plan of action going on that it does look successful. I do want you to be arrogant. I really do. I think you have the right to be arrogant in this situation. Don't hold back. I do feel like there is new energy in this. There's a lot of force behind it, but also part of this is compassion. The compassion, I really feel like, is very awesomely and rightfully selfish towards you. I think that it's necessary, though. Godspeed, you got this. You don't need to beg for anyone's attention, affection, gifts. You don't need to beg for any of this. So I kind of want you to ask, why are you doing it? There is some sort of ulterior motive, whether or not it's malicious is up in the air. I honestly don't feel like it is malicious. I feel like it's some sort of validation that you feel like you need. So it's kind of like you are clinging on to this to get that validation. It's not going to serve you. It's actually beneath you to beg for whatever this is. Whatever you do deserve, it is more than what you are claiming in this situation. Not that this person or this situation is inferior, but it's kind of unbalanced towards you. This isn't equal for you. Don't do it. Get into a place of being centered and balanced, and let what is meant for you shower you with the attention you deserve. You're not going backwards, you're not retreating. Please understand that what you're doing right now is you're looking at a very similar situation that you've had in the past from a higher perspective. So this is saying step back and watch. What do you want about this? What do you want about this person? What do you want about this situation? Be careful what you wish for, because you're going to have to do the work in this. This is going to involve you being either the person or, well, actually the person all around, the person for this person or the person for this situation. So you have to look at the faults in yourself. How is my cracks in my foundation affecting this and my wants towards it? I do see that this is going to be something where you want to detach from it and you want to run from it, because that seems to be the constant in your life, but you don't need to put yourself in that headspace. Want what you want because you are deserving of it, and this is what you genuinely want at the height of all that is abundant. You're not going to be abandoned in this. I hope that it made sense.